We are on base right now. We're on Andersen Air Force Base in Guam, and we're just a couple of days before we leave for Vietnam. And I wanted to show you some of the landscapes, some of the flowers that just grow here randomly on base and all over the island. And we're going right now to what they call Tarague Beach, which is a beach here on base that is just for people with access to the base. And we're going to show you around and let you just see some of the things that are growing, I guess, out in the wild. I talked about ferns in our last video, so I definitely want to show you some of the big ferns that grow just along the highway here. So we're just driving down here to the road that actually takes you down to Tarague, and you can already see some of the vegetation that grows along the roadways here. Palm trees. I never really knew there were so many different varieties of palm trees, but there are tons of different ones here on the island. And this is a good representation of what you're going to see. A lot of rocks and things, but get ready for this because you're about to see an amazing view here down onto the coastline here. I'm just going to spin you around. Yeah, just beautiful. But you can see, if you'll slow down here, Russell, you can see here just down beneath us, and let me just roll down the window so you can see all the thousands and thousands of palm trees that are down there. That's not grass, it's not any, obviously it's a jungle, but it's mostly palm trees, so it's pretty amazing. And Guam has a very, I guess, mountainous terrain on a large portion of it. You can see the cliffs and the mountains that we're going down to here, and I'll show you over here, kind of to the side as well. But this is kind of a narrow road going down to Tarague. It's about, what do you think, Russell, a mile from the main road there that you travel down to get down here to it. Luckily it's well paved and you don't have any issues, but we're about to turn the corner down here, so I'll just keep you with us. Guam has no squirrels. We've not seen a single squirrel. We have literally seen a tree rat though, which I wasn't a fan of. They have one variety of snake, and it's called a brown tree snake. And apparently they're not poisonous, but if you get bit by one, someone said it makes you very sick and it hurts really badly. They are very invasive, or were at one point, and they eat birds and basically decimated, I guess, what they call the cocos bird.
Yeah, the cocoa bird.
And they're now bringing those back to the island. So yeah, they have groups that go out and hunt the snakes, and I've seen one. They're very skinny snakes. They're not as big in diameter as what I'm used to seeing, but a snake is a snake in my opinion. So anyways, yeah, Russell said he thinks maybe more like 2 miles. I'm not sure if you can hear him. We don't have our microphone. But this is, we're now turning into Tarague. You can see the mountains, cliffs up above there, which are just gorgeous. And there's a kind of a restaurant, bar kind of thing that was damaged heavily in the typhoon a couple of years ago. And they're getting it back together, trying to get it back up and operational for the families. But yeah, this is Tarague, and we'll walk out there in a minute. But we're going to go on down right now to the end of the parking area here, and we're going to walk into the wooded area and show you some of the vegetation. So hopefully you can hear us, but if not, I'll just do a voiceover. But you can see all the palm trees here just in the parking lot, and the massive cliffs that you see. So we're just going to walk down We've been down here once before. We actually had some family pictures taken. We're going to walk down through here and show you some of the various types of plants and trees that grow just here in the wild on Guam. So you've got these things that look very similar to morning glories, but again, actually petunias maybe. I don't know the names of all of these. I've had people at church tell me the names and I honestly don't remember them. But I just want to show you how dense the vegetation is back here. To me, these look like kind of like a yucca tree or a yucca plant, and they're just massive. I mean, there's probably 9 foot tall. You can see the fern there beside it, probably another 8 foot, 9 foot tall. And then the palm trees just dense in the background there. Hopefully we're not going to be too shaky walking along here. I've seen these plants all over the island, just growing randomly. They're beautiful. Let me step over here closer. Again, I do not want to show you any brown snakes on video, but you can see the purple and the green on the leaves there. Looks like they're green on the top and purple underneath. Just beautiful. What we're walking to now, there's some little, I guess, the little parking spots that you can come to and kind of do like a day picnic or day camping or something. I don't believe you're allowed to stay here all night. But as I mentioned, we have been down here once before, and I know the noise is going to get loud here in a minute because of the ocean, but hopefully you can still hear us. You can, I'll show you right quick here. You can see how they have to come in and just whack away the vegetation, because if they don't, it just gets overgrown. So these things here that I said look like a yucca almost, you can see from the size of my hand how big they are, and that is not that is not the faint of heart. Those are quite sharp. But you can see how they've come in and just cut them. So that's about the size of my hand there, and they've had to cut them back to keep from probably scraping cars, because that, I can tell you right now, would be great at hurting someone or scraping the side of your vehicle. I do wish I knew the names of all of these plants. I'll show you this one here. We've got one similar growing at my daughter-in-law's house, and what they do is they kind of almost are like a palm tree. They grow on the rings, and then once the plant or the leaf dies, it just continues to grow upward. You can see they're just everywhere. Another thing you have to be cautious of here are the palm trees with the coconuts, because it's my understanding that there are people who are killed by falling coconuts. So it is something to be conscientious of for sure. I can see several of the trees here that have them in them. A lot of the resorts and things actually go through and remove the coconuts, I guess for their safety of their people that are staying with them. I'll show you this. Here's an actual coconut. First, make sure that I don't have one on my head. Let me walk over here and show you one that has fallen. So it's about the size of a football, and usually if they lay there on the ground long enough, they're going to start sprouting. And let me zoom in on this one. There's a massive amount of coconuts in this one. And lots of coconuts on the ground there that have fallen. So this is very, I would say this is very well maintained compared to a lot of the areas we've gone into, more jungly areas. But let's keep walking down here to the ocean, because I'm sure you wouldn't mind seeing that. I actually have not been through here, so this is new for me. See these gigantic boulders, the cliffs. It's amazing how things grow. Let me just show you this. Again, checking for any brown snakes. How amazing is it that this plant is growing out of the middle or a piece of this boulder? And that is not unusual to see here. More of the greenery. Looks like a cave, some type of a cave, or start of a cave. Show you these pine trees before I turn back and take you along the ocean here. These pine trees to me are so airy and beautiful. Here's another example of all of this greenery growing out of these mountainous, stony mountains here. And this is the pine trees I was telling you about. I was going to see if I could get a pine cone. Actually, there's several on the ground, so let me grab one. So that appears to be the pine cone from this type of tree. So now, if you're tired of seeing vegetation, let's just take a look at this magnificent water view here at Tarague Beach. Tarague is beautiful. I've only tried to swim here once. It's been very rough since we have been here. We arrived in December. From what I understand, it will definitely calm down in May and June. So I'm eager to see how it looks then. But yeah, it's a little too rough for LJ right now to be out there swimming and snorkeling for sure. Oh my goodness, I did not see this on the way down. Like I said, this is an area I have not been to. But it appears we have a nativity scene here, which is awesome. Someone has put a nativity here at Tarague. I'm going to zoom in for you. Isn't that amazing? I never knew that was here. I've never walked down this way and I've never seen that before. I don't know what's up between those two boulders, but I definitely don't want to go find out. But yeah, that does my heart good to see the nativity set here. These plants here, to me, they remind me of magnolia leaves. I know that's not what they are, but they remind me of it. They're very soft, almost like velvet. And they're pretty much everywhere. You can kind of see these shrubs here growing as well. This is the plant that I showed you just a few minutes ago where they had to cut it back. You can see the branches here are I guess I'm not sure if that would be called a leaf or what, but look at the base of it. Look at the roots. It's just amazing how big those are. Those are probably 3 inches in diameter, I would say easily. And it's probably 20 foot tall. And there's the baby versions next to it. Goodness, look at these. These are growing out of it. Again, I wish I knew what half of these were called, but I don't. I would absolutely die if a tree snake fell out on me, which they have been known to do. They put up these little cages all around the island, typically on chain link fences, to catch the tree snakes. We were invited to join a group that goes out on Saturdays to hunt for tree snakes. And I think I told them that would be a hard pass for LJ. I was not interested. I want to understand on these palm trees, there is a beetle that gets in and bores these holes into the tree. Which will eventually cause the tree to come down. We've got a quick shower that's coming through, so let me pause this. It's very common here. Be right back with you. Okay, this is a wild papaya tree that grows here in Guam. And you can see it is loaded right now with papayas. That one's probably 15 foot tall, I guess. But from what we understand, I mean, you can eat them, but they're not, they don't taste the same as the type of papaya you would buy at the store. Someone was telling us they were a little bit more bitter. So, yeah. So these are just wild hibiscus that are growing along the roadway here. This is nothing unusual to see these growing. Hibiscus, bougainvillea, yeah, just very pretty. You can see they're just growing along the roadway here on this street here. As we turn this curve, this is I'm not sure what this is, but this picture does not do it justice when the sun is shining on these red and burgundy leaved bushes, I guess. They're just spectacular, so very pretty. There's more of the green and purple that we showed you over at Tarague, more of the yellow flowers. I used to have some of those yellow flowers, and I cannot remember what the name of those are either. There's a papaya tree. Yeah, lots and lots of these red and burgundy leaf bushes that are just beautiful. Another papaya tree there growing out of it, just loaded down with papayas. You can kind of see the coloring on those bushes a little better here. And if you'll notice underneath, let me just show you as we stop, underneath these plants, you'll see the ferns growing. Okay, this is a great example of what you see on the roadways, just these thousands of ferns growing. And usually you'll see them growing and then there'll be palm trees or coconut trees right behind it. And that's what they've got here in the entrance as well. These were not planted, these are just wild growing ferns of all different types. I've seen at least 2 or 3 different varieties for sure with different leaf types. So very pretty. I'll show you some more on the up. We'll just keep going this way. Okay, right here, this is a different type of leaf. This is a good picture. It's got 2 different ones in the same shot that you can see there. Some of the broader leafed ones and then some of the ones that we're used to seeing. So we hope you all enjoyed our little short tour here of some of the trees and flowers and things here. We apologize for the rain, but that kind of happens on an island. So we don't want to say that it never rains in Guam. It does. And usually it lasts maybe 5-10 minutes and then it's over with. But actually today has kind of been one of the few dreary days that we've had since we've been here for 2.5 months now. It is, what's the temperature?
It says 78, but that's because of the rain.
Yeah, it's down to 78. It was 82 before it rained, and now it's down to 78. But trust me, the humidity has gone nowhere. That's the thing about here. I guess why things grow so vigorously. You can chop something down, and probably in a couple of weeks it'll be right back. Because of the humidity and the rain and the temperatures. The highs range from mid to upper 80s typically for the highs, and the lows are mid to upper 70s. So that's 365 days a year. And I know last week at church we were cutting back trees and flowers and things, and the ladies, there were birds of paradise that, if you're familiar with the bird of paradise, how gorgeous they are. They were hacking them down with machetes, and these women were amazing with their machetes, trust me. And they were hacking them down. They said, oh, they've gotten too thick, we need to cut them back. And they said, don't worry about it, they'll be back in just a few months. So interesting to see how things grow here so easily and quickly. But again, we hope you've enjoyed the tour today, and the next time we see you, we will probably be in Da Nang, Vietnam. Thanks and have a great day.